What's up, everybody? Welcome to another round of paper battles. Today we've got blue-purple Luffy versus green-purple Luffy. Blue-purple Luffy looks like they won the dice roll, which is exactly what they want to see. They would just want to ramp as fast as possible here and try to get to those late stages of the game, start dropping some Sanjis and the Big Moms and all those shenanigans. As green-purple Luffy here is going to try to move as fast as possible. Starting off with the stage, would have loved to see a searcher on one. Looks like they do have a searcher. It's going to be the event searcher. Going to look top 3. Look for something nice. Do see a Sanji pudding as well as a secret Luffy. Not sure what's in the hand of the green-purple Luffy player right now, but I'm sure one of those options is going to be an option to take here. Yep, Sanji pudding. Fantastic card. Honestly, the linchpin of this deck. If you keep those on board, you're in a really great position throughout the game here. And also, you know, just being that 7k hit point means you're going to require 2k to counter out of for the blue-purple Luffy side, who's going to try to be as defensive as possible here in the early game. We're going to see a 6k go at lead. Just going to take that one. Tap 3 for Zorojuro. Good old green-purple Luffy, not known for having too much interaction, right? Especially when your opponent's board is not very wide. I know some green-purple Luffy players run the green Zoro, right? That green Zoro. It's on play only will rest a character if your opponent has 2 or more characters. So Zorojuro kind of just hanging out right now, likely not going to get dealt with and going to be able to ramp up here as we see a Nami come down. Nami looks top 5. I saw another secret Luffy in the Nami mix, saw some other events. We could likely see what they're going to end up picking up here. There's a Gum Gum Giant in the mixture as well. Might need that for later in the game. Going to see a Zorojuro come down. Notably, Luffy could activate leader ability and play the Zorojuro, but they will really set themselves back here, so likely not gonna happen. Gonna play down the stage, gonna cycle again. Looks like we picked up a blocker chopper. Gonna allow them to just have a quick little blocker against this early swings from the blue-purple Luffy player, right? Swinging 6 when your leader's only a 5. Definitely gonna require some counter out of hand, but I know green-purple Luffy not too afraid of taking life. Just because they have just such a large hand size. But into this matchup where the other deck could be running pudding, maybe don't want to take as much as possible. We see the 4K just swing in. Looks like they've got different plans for the rest of this Dawn here. Going to play the Bond Clay, going to ramp up to 3. And I think they have the event here. Yep, the Gear 2 event, resting 2 and ramping another. Really great for the blue-purple Luffy player. They're already at 8 Dawn, which means leader ability is active on this next turn, allowing them to look at the top 5 and do some shenanigans. On the other side, we've got green-purple Luffy going up to 6 Dawn, which means likely a Sanji and pudding coming down this turn, which, especially when you're against something like blue-purple Luffy, Sanji and pudding, usually when it comes down, is not going to draw you a card on that first turn, but in this specific situation, when you're playing against a ramp deck, Sanji and pudding is always going to be live and always going to cycle itself out. So just a fantastic card, likely going to see an activation here and like maybe a Zorojuro come down. So you're going to activate leader ability, going to return 2 Dawn, stand up 2 Dawn that arrested. If all your characters are Straw Hats, going to get plus 1,000 for the turn. And then Sanji Pudding, seeing those Dawn returned and then bringing 1 back. So 4 Dawn now for green-purple Luffy, which lines up pretty well into playing the Zorojuro on this next turn here, which would be pretty solid. But they do have to be cognizant of the potential shenanigans coming down from the blue-purple Luffy player, just because of they're at 8 Dawn. They can start stacking the top. If they've got a Sanji as well, you can start doing some nonsense. Just gonna activate stage, gonna give the Sanji pudding up to 7k, which is gonna kind of take it out of the Big Mom territory here, but who knows? I know some blue-purple Luffy players run Mihawk, right? Mihawk can bottom a 7 or less, which is still valid in this specific scenario, but getting around Big Mom pretty good, as that's kind of like the typical play. But just gonna search up another Zorojuro. Zorojuro can indeed find himself. Pretty nice. So a potential, just another way to establish 6k body on the next side. Should be pretty awesome. We're gonna see an activation of leader effect here before the start of the turn. Gonna look at the top 5. Gonna grab a Straw Hat crew. Looks like we got 2 Katakuris in the top 5, which means if we got a Sanji in hand, we're likely gonna be putting a Katakuri into play here, which is a really solid blocker against the deck here, and allows them also to do some Gum Gum Giant shenanigans. We're gonna leave those on top. Gonna draw that pudding, and do we have the Sanji? If not, we might just play out. I think I saw a Mihawk in hand. We're gonna take advantage of the fact that there's a 7k sitting across the board just to swing 7k at lead with the Bond Clay. Gonna take that one. And looks like there's a Mihawk in hand. Could see the Mihawk come down here. I don't think there is a 9-cost Sanji in hand. I see a bunch of 2K Sanjis, but no 9-cost here. And yeah, we get the 1K counter out of it. And yep, gonna swing. Cool. Drop that. I think there was actually 2 1Ks that came out of hand here. But Mihawk's gonna come down bottom deck, the Sanji Pudding. So even though the stage took Sanji and Pudding up to 7 cost, not gonna be enough to protect it against the Mihawk. And that's why you see like a lot of blue purple Luffy players starting to run Mihawk, right? Just another playable card that gets rid of some of these threats that some of the other Luffy decks are running, right? 7 cost seems to be the new 6 cost when it comes to some of these characters, right? Sanji and Pudding being a 7 cost with the stage. Just any of black purple Luffy's characters can also just be incidentally 7 cost because of leader ability. So Mihawk pretty solid in the meta. We're going to see a Luffy Taro come down. Luffy Taro going to play out another Sanji and Pudding. We've got Sanji Pudding number 2. It should be an activation of drawing a card off of Sanji and Pudding. And yeah, also going to do leader ability to stand up to Don. Get a Don back from Sanji and Pudding. But not enough to play the Zoro this turn. We're going to see an activation here. Going to be putting up that Sanji and Pudding back up to 7 again to keep it out of Big Mom range. We're going to see a 6K go at lead here. Might end up just taking that one. And, ooh, nice little 9-comp. 9-drop Luffy off the life. We're going to see good old Chopper come down. Chopper's going to let them ramp another Don. Try to recoup some of the Don. They did, in fact, minus 3 Don this turn so far. So we're going to try to recoup a bit of it so we can still stay at a pretty high Don total. We're going to start the turn for Blue Purple Luffy, doing the Blue Purple Luffy shenanigans. Looking at this, a very similar grip to what they just saw. Looks like another 2K and then still the categories. It looks like another Pudding has floated to the top here. Do we just put the other Pudding in hand and just leave the categories on top? Does not look like it. Depending on how they stack it, this could be a Katakuri turn, right? There are no Sanjis in sight right now, I don't believe. So no putting things too much. Could also just... Oh, no, there is a Sanji in hand. I lied. I guess that was just tucked away other side. So we could just go Sanji into Katakuri here, which is pretty solid, especially now that we've already got a body on board. But no, we're gonna throw it away. We're gonna decide those Katakuris or not. We want to see. We do see the Nami coming to hand off the draw step. We could play the Nami out to start stacking the top of the deck to maybe get that Rush Luffy on top to go Sanji and a Rush Luffy on this next turn. Also, notably, no Big Moms in sight just yet. And just big swing. Just gonna go ahead and eat the Chopper here. We're likely just go a 6K here. 6K is gonna go into lead. We could easily counter out with a 1K. We're gonna use a 2K, which maybe means that the hand's getting a little light on 1Ks, or maybe there's a 1K in hand that he wants to keep. And we're just gonna play down the Rush Luffy. Gonna ignore setup for the Nami and instead just maybe rely on leader ability for next turn to give us a good Sanji target while also still applying some pressure into the hit here. And looks like we're gonna get a counter out here. So Gum Gum Giant -2 plus 4K trash 1 draw 2. What an absolute card. And we're gonna need a little more counter to get out of that 2K. And then yeah, so successfully protected from the 10K swing, trying to, I guess, stay at a pretty healthy life total, because as the game goes on, we're going to see more and more of these 9 and 10K characters come down, which are going to be doing some work, and we're going to see a swing into Nami, going to clean that up, and a pass of the turn back to Green Purple Luffy. Green Purple Luffy notably tried to recover some Don from last turn, did -2 Don from the Gum Gum Giant on his turn, so set himself back quite a bit of Don here. I think he only has 6 Don now. Not enough to, I mean, it is enough to do some shenanigans with Secret Luffy. With 2 Don up, though, that is pretty tough, right? So we could potentially be representing 2 Gum Gum Giants. There's at least 1 in hand right now, and quite a bit of counter, at least 3 2Ks and a 1K here. So very unlikely that Green Purple Luffy's going to be able to go for this here. Cycling a 3rd stage is just seeing 3 copies of stage in the top 20, pretty awkward. We're going to see a swing of 6, just a little poke here. Going to get a 1K counter. Do we keep being annoying? Nope, we're gonna start to be a little more extra annoying. We're gonna swing 8K now. Gonna require at least a 2K, 1K to get out of, which we have. Getting rid of that Pudding. We're gonna swing 8K again. Gonna just keep poking here. We do have a 2K, 1K to get out of that, but we're instead just gonna take that hit just because they know they're gonna likely be able to survive here, especially once Luffy tap down his first Dawn and attach the second Dawn, which means there's no Secret Luffy coming in that's going to start doing some shenanigans here. But we're going to see a top 5 search off of the Zorojuro. Not a whole lot of targets here. You do have to pick up a purple Straw Hat card, and it looks like Secret Luffy's coming to hand. We've got a Secret Luffy now, but the blue purple Luffy likely going to try to close out the game on this next turn, if possible. We're going to see an activation of leader effect going to untap 2 Dawn, get 1 back off Sanji Pudding, and plus 1k to leader. And what do we got for the rest of this turn here? If they've got another blocker chopper, that would be pretty solid to play out here. With 3 Dawn, they can also play out a Sanji blocker. Right, Sanji, notably very solid 2k in hand, but if you have less Dawn, at least 2 or more less Dawn than your opponent, it does only cost 3. We're gonna see a 6k go at lead, just gonna get a 2k out of hand here. Likely saving that Gum Gum Giant for a bigger turn. And we're going to tap 3, and we're going to play out exactly what I thought. The nice little blocker here, trying to survive for the next turn, because I think at this point, Luffy is trying to do one thing, and that is get into Secret Luffy on this next turn to be able to power down this this blue-purple Luffy player. But we'll see here what ends up happening. We do see a 2k pulled off of here. Not a whole lot of great options in the top 5 there. A whole lot of events. And a Nami blocker. Are we going to keep those on top? Are we going to add the red rock to hand? Or are we throwing those on the bottom? We're gonna throw those on top, so that means the red rock's going in the hand too. Maybe we may be able to do something here. If you red rock the Sanji, you could potentially do something, especially with no Dawn up from the Luffy side. This could be the last turn of the game if the counter does not come together on Luffy's side. We've already seen him use some 2Ks when he could have used 1Ks, so maybe the counter situation is getting a bit dire in the green purple Luffy's hand. But it does still have 2 life, right? You could still hit 2 things. Instead, we're just gonna go for a little bit of board control and go 9k into the 7k Sanji Pudding. Likely gonna try to test the opponent's hand here. If Sanji Pudding's down, no fight at all given from the green purple Luffy player. I maybe would have been a little bit more willing to fight for that potentially, but because they knew there was at least a 10k coming on the next side, that Sanji Pudding was going to likely be dead anyways. Going to clean up the Zoro as well. I think we're just on cleanup duty right now. Could just red rock the Luffy Taro, right? And then leaves you 4 Dawn to work with. Could just do a decently sized swing, still hold up 1 for Gum Gum Giant, right? Could be a potential play. Very unfortunate that the blue purple Luffy player has not seen Big Mom yet. So no life gain from that side. We're gonna just swing a 6k. 6k is just gonna be immediately taken. No true fear on the green purple Luffy side of dying this turn. Just because, I mean, the blue purple Luffy deck is kind of known for having not too many rush threats, right? And especially not even running Secret Luffy, and well, at least the 6-drop one. And we're gonna see the red rock on the Luffy Taro, and then 2 more Dawn to work with here. It could just be a 6k. Yeah, we're gonna swing 6k at lead, and then gonna leave 2 up to potentially be double giant here. But this is a bit of an awkward situation for blue purple Luffy now. Blue purple Luffy, 2 Dawn up, a few cards in hand, no life, no blockers. We've got 3 attackers, as well as a potential Secret Luffy coming down from the green purple Luffy player. We're going to see a poke for 6 here. Going to try to get some cards out of hand. This poke's going to get a 2k. It did look like there were 4 2ks in hand, as well as a Gum Gum Giant. We're going to swing another 6, going to get another 2k here, and the door is beginning to potentially shut here as we might just see a huge swing. No, we're gonna go for the Secret Luffy. Secret Luffy is gonna gain rush. We're gonna do a leader activation, and maybe just swing 777 might be the play here. Just a whole bunch of 7s. But little does the green purple Luffy player know, we have a whole lot of 2Ks in hand here. We're gonna swing another 7, get another 2K, and then we're gonna activate ability, take that life, and then swing 7 one more time. And that's a Gum Gum Giant that's going to get out of that. And the game is over. Green Purple Luffy not able to go for lethal here. And Blue Purple Luffy, especially since Green Purple Luffy tapped out of resources, Blue Purple Luffy just going to get it on the backswing. But anyways, Blue Purple Luffy wins. If you enjoy this type of content, definitely subscribe. And we'll see you in the next video.